How she reacts when she realizes you lost interest. Imagine for a moment that you hold the key to a life filled with peace, happiness, and unwavering strength. What if the path to true fulfillment wasn't about chasing external validation, but about aligning with your inner wisdom? Today, I want to share timeless truths that will empower you to master your emotions, embrace change, and live a life of purpose. This is not just about surviving life's challenges, it's about thriving through them with grace, resilience, and unwavering happiness. Stay with me, because the insights I'm about to share could transform your life in ways you never imagined. Number 1, acceptance of reality. Life is filled with moments that can shake us, but true strength comes from how we handle those moments. One of the most powerful lessons in the pursuit of happiness is the ability to accept reality as it is, without resistance. When things change, when relationships evolve, or when we face the unexpected, our natural instinct might be to fight against it. We may resist the truth of the situation because it doesn't align with our expectations or desires. But here's the truth: resistance only leads to suffering. Acceptance isn't about giving up or surrendering to fate. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of expectation and realizing that life, in its entirety, is out of our control. We can't always dictate how others feel or how situations unfold, but we do have the power to control how we respond. By accepting what is, without bitterness or regret, we allow ourselves to move forward with peace and grace. Imagine the weight lifting off your shoulders when you stop fighting reality. When you stop trying to force something that no longer fits, you give space to new possibilities. The happiness you're seeking can only emerge when you stop looking back and start living in the present, accepting it for what it is. You have the power to choose your perspective. Instead of allowing frustration and anger to cloud your mind, choose acceptance. Choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth. In doing so, you embrace a life of contentment, one where happiness is not dictated by what others do or don't do, but by how you choose to face every moment with wisdom and inner strength. So, ask yourself, are you ready to live a life of peace? To stop fighting the natural flow of things and instead align yourself with it? The happiness you seek begins with acceptance. Number 2, control over emotions. Let's talk about one of the most powerful aspects of living a life of true happiness: control over your emotions. In a world that constantly throws challenges and surprises your way, it's easy to feel like your emotions are in charge. The truth is, while we can't always control what happens to us, we have complete control over how we respond. And that's where true emotional freedom lies. Picture this: the world around you may be chaotic, but your inner world remains calm. You face life's challenges with wisdom, not reaction. You refuse to let fleeting emotions like frustration or sadness dictate your actions. The power to control your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. When you're faced with disappointment, anxiety, or stress, you can pause, take a deep breath, and decide whether to let those emotions drive you or rise above them with intention and clarity. Emotions are like waves. They come and go, but if you allow them to dictate your every move, you'll be swept away by the tide. Instead, when you master your emotions, you remain anchored to the present moment. You free yourself from unnecessary suffering and pave the way to a life filled with peace and joy. Think about it. How many times have you let a passing emotion dictate your happiness? How many decisions have you made out of anger or frustration that you later regretted? Mastering your emotional responses allows you to make better decisions, stay grounded, and maintain the happiness you deserve. True happiness comes not from avoiding emotions, but from gaining the strength to control them. When you can choose how to respond to any situation, you take back your power, and with it, the key to living a truly fulfilling life. Number 3. The impermanence of life. Life is fleeting, unpredictable, and always changing, and that's what makes it beautiful. The impermanence of life is something we must all come to understand deeply. Things don't stay the same forever. Emotions, people, opportunities, even circumstances, they are all in constant flux. Understanding this simple truth gives you the key to unlocking the kind of happiness that is unshakable. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that things should always remain as they are, that our successes should last forever, or that the relationships we hold dear will never change. But the sooner we accept the impermanence of all things, the more we free ourselves to live fully. Nothing in life is permanent. The seasons change, time moves forward, and life doesn't stop for anyone. But this truth is not something to mourn, it is a reason to rejoice. Imagine this. What if, instead of resisting change, you embraced it as a natural part of the journey? Each moment, each relationship, each opportunity is a gift, a moment to learn, grow, and experience life in all its richness. The fact that life changes means that new things are always on the horizon, just waiting for you to discover them. When you come to terms with impermanence, you stop clinging to the past or fearing the future. You can let go of attachments that no longer serve you and open yourself up to new experiences that bring happiness. You become free. Free from the weight of trying to control things you can't, and free to live in the present, appreciating what's in front of you. Realize this: impermanence is not a threat. It's an invitation to live fully, to savor the good moments while they last, and to let go gracefully when it's time to move on. This is how we achieve true happiness, by accepting change, embracing it, and making peace with the flow of life. Number 4. Focus on virtue and character. In the pursuit of a meaningful and happy life, there's one thing that can never be taken from you: your virtue and character. These are the foundations upon which your happiness rests. When everything else is in flux, when circumstances change, when relationships evolve, your character remains a constant. It is the one thing you can control and the only thing that truly defines you. Ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? The answer lies not in your possessions or accomplishments, but in the choices you make. When you choose to act with integrity, kindness, and wisdom, you are building a character that is resilient to life's challenges. Life will present challenges that may shake you. You'll encounter people who may not appreciate your efforts, or situations that seem unfair. In those moments, it's your character that will define how you rise. Instead of reacting with bitterness or resentment, you will respond with calm and purpose, rooted in the values you hold dear. This is what it means to live with virtue. To act not based on external circumstances, but based on what is right, regardless of the outcome. Happiness, therefore, is not about chasing fleeting pleasures or external validation. It comes from within, from the peace of knowing that you are living in alignment with your values. When you cultivate your character, you are not only building a foundation for your own happiness, but also influencing the world around you in a positive way. Remember, true fulfillment isn't found in possessions or external achievements, but in the steady pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself. When you focus on virtue and character, happiness is no longer something you chase. It becomes a natural byproduct of the life you choose to live. Number 5. Living according to nature. Imagine living a life where every decision, every thought, and every action is in harmony with the natural flow of the world around you. This is what it means to live according to nature. It's not about fighting against the current, but learning to move with it, embracing the world's rhythm and understanding that everything, from the smallest moment to the grandest challenge, has its place in the bigger picture. So many of us spend our lives in constant struggle against others, against circumstances, against change. But what if happiness didn't come from winning every battle? What if it came from simply accepting the ebb and flow of life? The Stoic philosophy teaches us that living in alignment with nature means recognizing the cycles of life and understanding that we are a part of something far greater than our individual selves. Think about the seasons. They change naturally without resistance. Winter makes way for spring, just as night gives birth to day. Similarly, life moves through phases. Some are joyful, others challenging. The key is not to resist these phases, but to adapt, grow, and find peace in the midst of them. When you live according to nature, you accept that life is full of transitions, and each one offers a chance for growth and renewal. When you stop fighting what is and start embracing what comes naturally, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. You can find joy even in the face of adversity, knowing that it too is a part of life's natural rhythm. Living according to nature means finding contentment not in trying to control everything around you, but in accepting it as it unfolds and responding with calm and wisdom. This is the path to true happiness. A life where peace comes not from controlling the world, but from finding harmony within it. Number 6. Empathy and understanding. In a world that often seems divided, empathy and understanding are two of the most powerful tools we have for creating a life filled with meaning and happiness. To empathize is to see the world through another's eyes, to understand their struggles, and to respond with compassion. True happiness doesn't come from isolating yourself from others or building walls around your heart. It comes from the ability to connect deeply, to recognize that everyone is on their own journey, and that each person's actions come from a place of their own experiences. Think about this for a moment. When someone disappoints you or acts in a way that feels hurtful, how often do you pause and wonder why they acted the way they did? What if their actions were not a reflection of you, but a reflection of their own fears, insecurities, or challenges? When you cultivate empathy, you start to see the world with more clarity, and your reactions to others change. Instead of responding with anger, resentment, or frustration, you respond with understanding. Living with empathy doesn't mean you condone negative behavior, nor does it mean you allow yourself to be mistreated. But it does allow you to recognize the human struggles we all face. It helps you break free from the cycle of judgment and frustration, and create space for peace, compassion, and even forgiveness. The beauty of empathy is that it doesn't just enrich the lives of others, it enriches yours as well. By understanding the pain of others, you free yourself from bitterness and open yourself to genuine connection. When you lead with empathy, you are not only building stronger relationships, but you are creating a life where love, understanding, and happiness can truly flourish. Empathy brings you closer to others and ultimately closer to the happiness you seek. Number 7. The importance of self-reliance. In our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment, we often look outward for validation, approval, and support. But self-reliance is the cornerstone of true emotional freedom and long-lasting joy. It's the understanding that your sense of worth, happiness, and peace comes from within, not from external sources. When you become truly self-reliant, you stop waiting for others to define your happiness, and instead, you take ownership of your own emotional well-being. Think about it. How often do we rely on external circumstances to determine how we feel? A compliment, a social media post, or even the approval of a friend or colleague can momentarily boost our spirits, but these are fleeting, temporary sources of happiness. True happiness comes from within. It comes from the quiet confidence that you are enough, just as you are, and that your happiness is not in someone else's hands. Self-reliance isn't about isolating yourself or shutting others out. It's about building inner strength. It's about recognizing that you are the one who controls your reactions, your emotions, and your mindset. You have the power to shape your own happiness, regardless of the opinions or actions of those around you. When you can rely on yourself, you become immune to the ups and downs of life. You are steady, calm, and capable of finding peace in any circumstance. Imagine a life where your happiness doesn't depend on anything outside of yourself. A life where you wake up each day knowing that you are responsible for how you feel and that your peace comes from your own strength and decisions. This is the power of self-reliance. It's a freedom that leads to deep, lasting happiness and a sense of inner peace that no one can take away. True happiness lies not in external circumstances or fleeting moments, but in how we respond to the world around us. By embracing acceptance, controlling our emotions, understanding life's impermanence, focusing on virtue, living in harmony with nature, practicing empathy, and cultivating self-reliance, we create a solid foundation for lasting joy. These principles empower us to live lives of meaning, purpose, and inner peace. May you take these lessons to heart and use them to shape a life of fulfillment. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for your time and attention. Keep striving for happiness, always.